when you read in the book of Daniel, and when things change for Daniel so quickly, he goes from one day until the next, he goes from a place of freedom in his religion and freedom as a Hebrew boy and all of this, from one day to the next, to be found himself in exile, and the freedoms that he has as a Hebrew were all stripped away. But something amazing about Daniel, and when we read about him, learn more about him, his commitment didn't change ever. He still remained the same person doing the same thing, to say, I'm still chasing God regardless of how the environment around me changes. He became what I like to call, he was a thermostat in his life that dictated. Do you hear what I'm saying? He was a thermostat for his own self and his own life, to say, I'm not going to allow the outside environment to dictate what I do and what I say and how I pray and how I serve God, right? And so he was a thermostat to say, I'm in charge of my own self. So sometimes we're just a thermometer, and we're always talking about the conditions, and these conditions are bad, and these conditions are getting worse. These conditions are too cold, and these conditions are too hot, and we're just a thermometer, and we're just repeating the things that are just happening. But a thermostat says, I'm going to set a course, and this is where I'm going to remain. This place of faithfulness, this is where I'm going to remain. That's what Daniel did. So to go to a place of exile into a place of exile, where he then had to be receiving an education, that to him, which would have been a worldly or a pagan education, to having to participate and do things that as a part of what the Babylonians would do. But the cool thing is, for Daniel, is he had moments to where he would, anything that would, see, a lot of things could rock his religion, but anything that would get in the way with his relationship with God, he wasn't going to do.